Good morning, students. Welcome to Diamond Group of Institution. In the previous session, we discussed Bohr's postulate as well as the expression for radius as well as the expression for velocity and the shortcut expressions for both radius as well as velocity. Now, today we are going to discuss the final derivation, that is energy of an electron present in nth orbit. So, here when an electron is revolving in its orbit around the nucleus, then that electron has possess two types of energy, that is potential energy as well as the kinetic energy. And we know that what is meant by potential energy, the energy due to its position, and what is meant by kinetic energy, the energy due to its motion. So what is meant by potential energy here? The potential energy is calculated by potential at a distance r from the nucleus into charge of an electron, that is minus E. So what is meant by potential formula? V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught by distance is R, Q. What is Q? Charge. Charge of which particle? Nucleus. So what is the charge of the nucleus? That is Ze into charge of an electron is minus E. So you can say that Ep equal to, take this minus here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z into E becomes E square divided by R. That is equation number 1. See once again, for calculating the potential energy, potential into electron charge. So potential is how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. What is that? Q indicates charge. So what is the charge of that nucleus? Ze by R into what is the charge of an electron is here? Minus. So remember, Ep equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square by R. That is called equation number 1, that is potential energy. So actually we want is which energy? Total energy. What is meant by total energy? The sum of the potential energy as well as the kinetic energy. So now you tell me what is the expression for kinetic energy? That is half mv square. So what indicates m? Mass. What indicates c? That is called velocity. Now from Bohr's rule, what is the formula? Mv square by r, that is centripetal force, is equal to electrostatic force. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square divided by r square. We want mv square value from this. So by cancelling the r on both sides, we are going to get the direct value of mv square, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Ze square by r. So in place of mv square, if you substitute this value, then you are going to get the kinetic energy. After getting the kinetic energy, if you add equation number 1 and equation number 2, you are going to get the total energy. Now you see here, Ek equal to half mv square. That means keeping half as it is, writing this value, because mv square equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square by R. So this is, we got it from Bohr's rule. So 1 by 2 as it is, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square divided by R. So this is which energy? Kinetic energy. You can write here Ek equal to 1 by 2, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square by R. So we want total energy. So we want total energy. So how we are getting total energy? That is the sum of the potential energy plus kinetic energy. So potential energy is indicated by equation number 1 and kinetic energy by equation number 2 by adding. So this is potential energy and this is kinetic energy. And now we are taking some terms common here. E becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square by R. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z E square by R taken common here, minus 1 remains as it is, plus 1 by 2. So minus 1 plus 1 by 2, it becomes what? Minus 1 by 2. And this is as it is, you can write it here. So now the final answer becomes E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z E square by R into minus 1 by 2. So now writing the complete step here, 1 by 4 into 2 becomes 8, and taking minus here, then pi epsilon naught, then Z E square divided by R. See once again, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2, that becomes 1 by 8 pi epsilon naught, minus taken over here, and Z E square by R. So this is equation number 3. So what the equation number 1 indicates is potential energy, second indicates is kinetic energy, and the third indicates is total energy. Now here you can simplify still by replacing the value of radius, that is n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z square in equation number 3. So E becomes minus 1 into z square. 1 into z square becomes z square by 8 pi epsilon naught. Then 1 by r. So 1 by r means reciprocal of radius. So you are taking numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator. So pi m z e square by n square h square epsilon naught. Nothing to confuse. In place of r, we are substituting the value of radius. So minus 1 by 8 pi epsilon naught into z square. That is minus z square epsilon naught into 8 into r. We have to substitute in denominator. So that's why r value we are taken reverse. So if you do the simplification, pi and pi is going to be get cancelled here. So then minus as it is, z into z becomes z square, e power 2 into e power 2 becomes e power 4 into m by 8 as it is, epsilon naught into epsilon naught becomes epsilon naught square n square into h square. So this is the expression for total energy, and if you want to write the expression for nth orbit, then you can write simply here n. So this is the expression for total energy of an electron present in which orbit? Nth orbit. Again there is a shortcut formula here. That means by replacing the constant value, Z value as 1 for hydrogen atom, E value, charge of an electron, mass of an electron, permittivity of free space, and H Planck's constant, the formula is going to be reduced to minus 13.6 divided by n square into electron volt. Actually, the energy is going to be expressed in joule, but that joule is converted into electron volt by dividing by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So the shortcut formula, you can write it as, remember, as En equal to minus 13.6 divided by n square into electron volt, where that n indicates orbit number. That means different orbits have different energy levels. So based on these energy levels, next we are going to study the energy level diagram. So before going to study the energy level diagram, that is regarding spectral lines, so once again we go through the derivation one. So this is potential energy. What is the potential energy? Potential into charge of an electron, that is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Z square by R. Next, we calculated the kinetic energy by using formula of mv square. In place of mv square, from Bohr's postulate we substituted this value. Then after adding these two equations, that is potential energy as well as kinetic energy, by replacing the terms, Then we have taken some terms common outside, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z E square by R. Then the remaining terms are minus 1 plus half. So minus 1 plus half becomes minus half. Then 2 into 4 becomes 8, and this minus goes this side. Then that will give the energy. So minus 1 by 8 pi epsilon naught Z E square by R. What that R indicates? Radius. So in place of R, we have substituted R value by doing the simplification, and here only pi term is going to be get cancelled here, and the remaining terms constant. Then by simplifying the formula, we got the final expression for the total energy of an electron present in nth orbit is minus z square e power 4 into m by 8 pi 8 f naught square n square into h square. And also by substituting the constant values, we have simplified this big relation to a small relation, that is energy En equal to minus 13.6 by n square. What that n indicates? That orbit number. That means if it is the electron is present in first orbit, E1. If it is present in second orbit, E2. Like that, based on different energies values. Now we are going to study the spectral series of hydrogen atom, that is called hydrogen level, that is energy level diagram of hydrogen atom. Just now we completed the energy expression of an electron, and using the formula En equal to minus 13.6 divided by n square into electron volt, we can calculate the energy of any orbit. Then now we are going to move to the next topic, that is energy level diagram. That means when an electron jumps from higher energy level to lower energy level, that time it is going to be produces a spectral line having particular wavelength or particular frequency. And now we can see that each and every electron, they should have different energies in different orbits. So based on these energy levels, we have now discussing the energy level diagram here. See this, there are 5 spectral series are obtained by the hydrogen atom when it takes a transition from higher to lower orbit. Then this is first orbit, this is second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit, fifth orbit. And always remember, electron should always jump from higher orbit to lower orbit. And this side, you can see that energy level, that formula, that means En equal to minus 13.6 divided by n square. N means first orbit. If it is n equal to 1, the value becomes minus 13.6. If n equal to 2, that means minus 13 points divided by 2 square, that is 4. So that value reduces to minus 3.4 electron volt. So this is the energy in which orbit? Second orbit. If n equal to 3, energy of that electron in third orbit is minus 1.5 electron volt. Then if n equal to 4, the value is minus 0.85 electron volt. Like that, if n equal to 5, then minus 0.54 electron volt. So like that, now see here, there are different spectral series. You can see in figure. First obtained is Lyman series, second obtained is Balmer series, third obtained is Paschen series, fourth obtained is Brackett series, and Stefan series. And see this arrow marks. These arrow marks indicates that the electron is starting transition from which orbit to which orbit. See the first line. So this first line indicates that electron is in second orbit and it is jumping to first orbit. And see the second line, electron is in third orbit, it is making transition to first orbit. And the electron is in fourth orbit and it is coming towards the first orbit. And the electron is in fifth orbit, it is jumping towards the first orbit. That means to get Lyman series, all the electrons are jumping from higher level to first orbit itself. So that means lower orbit is fixed. In which series? Lyman series. What is the lower orbit fixed over here? First orbit. The electron is taking higher orbits are so many. Higher orbits 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to so on infinity. But minimum lower orbit is fixed, that is 1. So see here the mathematical expression for Lyman series. To find the wavelength, the mathematical expression used here is actually 1 by lambda equal to r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So this is the expression 1 by lambda equal to r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. What is that n1? Lower orbit. n2 indicates higher orbit. So see the values here. n1 lower orbit is fixed in Lyman series. What is the value? 1. But the electron has higher orbit, presented in higher orbits 2, 3, 4 up to so on infinity. That means electron is jumping, can take transition, or it can jump from 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 10 to 1, like that infinity to 1. That means lower orbit is fixed in case of Lyman series. That is called first series of the spectral series called Lyman series. And this Lyman series you can see here 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. So remember, this is called first line, this is called second line, and this is called third line, and this is called fourth line. Like that you are going to be represented. And now next come to the next series, that is called Balmer series. And Balmer series, you can see here, there is no electron is moving from to the first orbit. That means minimum orbit itself second. Minimum orbit itself second here. And the maximum orbit numbers are 3, 4, 5 up to so on infinity. So then comes to third one called Paschen series. In Paschen series, lower orbit itself 3, that means higher orbits are starting from 4, 5, 6, up to so on infinity. And next bracket series, that is fourth one. Bracket series, in that bracket series, orbit number minimum is 4 and the higher orbit numbers are 5, 6, 7, up to infinity. And now you see the last series, that is called Pfund series. You can see that minimum lower or the minimum orbit number is 5. That means the electron you can see here 6th orbit to 5th orbit. You can say n equal to 6, n equal to 7, like that. See the first line, electron is jumping from 6th orbit to 5th orbit. And see the next line, 7th orbit to 5th orbit. That means lower orbit itself 5 and higher orbits are 6, 7, like that up to on infinity. Now see the spectral series expression. So based on this formula, you are going to get compulsory 5 mark problem you can expect for annual examination on any one of these series. See the Lyman series, n1 equal to 1, n2 is 2, 3, 4 up to so on infinity. So here n1 in place of n1 fixed value, we can write it as 1 square as it is. What that r indicates? Rydberg constant. So Rydberg constant means r equal to 1.097 into 10 power 7. That is a constant value you can replace there. And substituting n1 already fixed here by finding the value of n2. That means in problem, if he mentioned the first line, then you are going to choose it as this is first line. So n2 is 2. In problem, he asked third line of the calculate the wavelength of the third line of the Lyman series. Once again, I am repeating the problem. Find the wavelength of the third member or third line of the Lyman series. Then what are the values you are going to choose? n1 is equal to 1 is a fixed value. Third line or third member means this is first member, second member, third member. So what is the final value? n2 equal to 4. By substituting the values and after doing the square and simplification with r value, just reverse the value, then you are going to get the value of the wavelength. Simple problem, and in PUC physics, most easy method to get 5 marks problem, to score 5 marks. You can practice, after practicing these values, you can do any problem of any method. See, this is Lyman series, Balmer series. See here, n1 equal to 2. minimum itself 2. So that 2 value is fixed. So this N2 value depends on the number, spectral number, and see the Paschen series. N1 equal to 3, N2 equal to 4, 5, 6, up to so on infinity. Fourth one, bracket series. N1 itself 4, that means lower orbit is 4. That's why 4 is fixed value. N2 value is going to be changed. If you want to calculate the, one more time I am giving an example. Find the longest wavelength and shortest wavelength of the bracket series. So for longest wavelength means first line, shortest wavelength means last line. So longest wavelength means N1 equal to 4, N1 equal to 4, comma N2 equal to 5. You should replace the values of N1 and N2 like this. This is for what? Longest wavelength, you can say, or first line or first member of the bracket series. If it is for shortest wavelength, N1, you are going to choose it as 4, that is N1 fixed only. So N2 becomes what? Infinity. So here you are replacing in place of N2, you are writing infinity. That means 1 by infinity becomes what? 0. So this part will become 0. So by doing this simple calculation, you are going to get the shortest wavelength. What that wavelength is called? Shortest wavelength or last member of the series. So which series? I gave an example, bracket series. Now see the last series, that is P-Fund series. Minimum value is 5, that is N1 equal to 5. So electron is jumping from 6th to 5th, 7th to 5th, 8th to 5th, 10th to 5th, infinity to 5th. That means lower orbit itself 5. So that's why in place of N1, 5 is fixed. So see once again, N1 1 for Lyman series, N1 2 for Balmer series, N1 3 for Paschen series, N1 4 for bracket series, N1 5 for P-Fund series. Like that, easily you can remember the N1 and N2 values. N1, if it is 1, N2 value, it must be greater than this value. If N1 equal to 2, and then N2 starts from, next number starts from 2, that is 3, 4, 5 like that. If N1 equal to 3, N2 starts from 4, 5, itself. N1 equal to 4, N2 starts from 5 onwards. N1 equal to 5, N2 starts from 6 on. That means easily you can remember the name of the series, then you can write the values of the orbit numbers. That is, remember the order. First series is Lyman series, second one is Balmer series, and third one is Paschen series, and fourth one is bracket series, and next one is P-Fund series. And also remember here, there is a simple question you are going to ask in annual exam. Lyman series presents in ultraviolet region, visible region. Balmer series presents in visible region, then Paschen, bracket, as well as P-Fund. These three series are present in infrared region. See here, Lyman series presents in ultraviolet region, whereas the Balmer series presents in visible region, and last three series, that is Paschen, bracket, and P-Fund, these three series are present in IR region. So this is the explanation of energy level diagram. Left side means this side you can see the orbits number 1, 2, 3, 4 like that up to infinity, and this side energy level. So you can find the wavelength, or you can find the energy differences between any two levels using the values. So these values are calculated by the mathematical expression En equal to minus 13.6 divided by N square. By keeping the N value or by changing the N values, you can calculate the energies of any different orbits. Then finally, you remember this expression also, 1 by lambda equal to R into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. If in place of 1 by lambda, you can write nu bar. So this is called as what? Wave number. So what is meant by wave number? The reciprocal of the wavelength is also called as what? Wave number. So these are the mathematical expressions and based on what? Spectral series. Now, the limitations of Bohr's theory. That means we studied Bohr's postulate and Bohr's radius expression, velocity expression, energy expression, and those formulas and those concepts are applicable only for hydrogen-like atoms. That means those are not applicable for complex atoms, or we can say the atomic number is much greater than 1. So we can say what are the limitations of Bohr's theory. It is applicable to simple atoms like hydrogen like atoms, that is Z equal to 1. That means it is failed to explain for complex atoms. Then this theory doesn't explain about the fine structure. That means the spectral lines, they are going to be split in shells as well as the subshells. Then regarding the fine structure of spectral series, also the theory failed to explain. And the last is that it could not explain about the Zeeman effect as well as the Stark effect. What is meant by Zeeman effect? Zeeman explained how the spectral series are going to be split in place of when you apply the magnetic field, and the spectral series are splitted when you apply the electric field. That is called Stark effect. If you apply the magnetic field, regarding magnetic field, Zeeman explained. Regarding the electric field, Stark explained. Regarding those two effects, this theory is failed. So this limitations of Bohr's theory, it is also called demerits of Bohr theory. So it is applicable only for hydrogen-like atoms and it is not applicable for complex atoms. And then this theory doesn't explain about the fine structure as well as the Zeeman effect as well as the Stark effect. And then last topic now we are going to discuss here is that de Broglie's explanation about the Bohr's rule. So Bohr's postulate, that is Bohr's second rule. What that Bohr's rule, second rule says that angular momentum of an electron must be is equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. That is mvr equal to nh by 2 pi. After 10 years, de Broglie gave an explanation about the Bohr's second postulate. You can see the figure here. The electron is moving like a standing wave. That means electron is moving like a standing wave here. This is a nucleus and the electron is revolving like this. And he compared and he used the expression for de Broglie wavelength, that is lambda equal to h by mv. What is the mathematical expression for de Broglie wavelength? Already we know that well-known expression lambda equal to h by mv. So see the point, orbiting electron around the nucleus of an atom associated with a standing or stationary wave. That means whatever the electron is revolving, it is moving like a stationary wave. And then electron's wave must be circular standing wave that closes on itself. That means this wave is closed by itself. And see in the figure, so this wave is completely closed, starting by itself and closed by itself, you can see. And the last most important point is that the circumference of the electron. So this is the actually, so from here the main concept starts here. The circumference of the circular orbit, that means the electron is moving in this path, then of an electron is equal to integral multiple of de Broglie wavelength. So this concept we are deriving based on which theory? Bohr's second rule. So what that Bohr's second rule says that mvr equal to nh by 2 pi, that is Bohr's rule. So what is the formula? mvr equal to nh by 2 pi. See here, 2 pi into r. So we are taking 2 pi here and this mv taking to right side. So it becomes 2 pi into r equal to n into h by 2 pi. So this 2 pi into r equal to n into h divided by m into v, mass into velocity. So just keeping n outside, h by mv. What that h by mv indicates? H, Planck's constant, by mass into velocity of an particle. We can say that lambda. What is lambda? It is called de Broglie wavelength. Lambda equal to h by mv. So finally we got the de Broglie wavelength symbol, that is lambda. So 2 pi r indicates what? Circumference of a circle is equal to integral multiple of what? Wavelength. So what is the integral symbol? N into wavelength. How you got this wavelength symbol? MVR equal to NH by 2 pi. 2 pi into R equal to N into H by taking this MV to the right hand side. So it goes to denominator. So 2 pi R equal to NH by MV. So 2 pi R as it is, N as it is. So lambda, that is de Broglie wavelength, we are replacing in place of H by MV. So this lambda indicates what? De Broglie wavelength. So this is the explanation about the de Broglie's, about Bohr's second rule, that is quantization rule. So in this atoms chapter, so in this atoms chapter, first we studied J.J. Thomson model, next alpha particle scattering experiment model. After alpha particle scattering experiment, Rutherford's model, then Bohr's atom model and the derivations for radius, velocity, energy, as well as the Bohr's limitations. Then based on the spectral series, that means how the electron makes transition from higher to lower orbit, we studied the energy level diagram of different spectral series, that is like Simon series, Balmer series, Paschen series, Brackett series, Pfund series. Then afterwards, finally we came to the final topic, that is de Broglie's explanation about the Bohr's second postulate. So these are the main topics which are covered in atoms chapter. In next session, we are going to study the NCERT problems based on this atoms chapter.